In this video, we're going to talk about how to actually improve your grades and improve your life in college. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rahul. I got a 3.9 GPA in biomedical engineering, and I'm here to share with you the tips and tricks that I learned over the years to help you succeed in college. Let's get right into it. Today, I want to talk about something that I learned from the business mogul, Alex Hermosi. And it's this concept of do more, do better, do new. You might be thinking, what the hell does that mean? What that means is whenever you want to succeed at something, you follow this specific framework. First, do more, then do better, then do new. Let's start with the first one. The first step is do more. If you want to succeed in anything in life, the first thing you need to do is take action. And in this age of, social media and endless distractions that we're in right now, honestly, we are so addicted to doing something new. Has this ever happened to you where you say, "Oh, I want to lose weight. I'm going to start going to the gym." You start going to the gym, um, and then a couple weeks later, you say, "Oh man, I want to try running," and then you go try running, and then you're like, "Oh man, like I really want to eat this really yummy looking dessert," and then you go eat that. So you just keep doing the new thing, and you never actually make progress on your first goal that you set out to do. That happens to me all the time, or that used to happen at least until I figure this out. The single greatest thing that you can do to accomplish your goal is to stick with it. And I know that sounds so simple, but to be quite frank, it is literally that simple. It's hard because nobody does it. It's actually hard to be consistent and to say no to all of these new things that might distract you from your goals. If you are, let's say you're a B student and you want to become an A student. If you start studying only for 2 weeks, do you think you're going to become an A student just from 2 weeks of studying? No. It's like, let's use this analogy. I love the workout analogy. If you have someone who's been obese their whole life and they go to the gym for a week, do you think they're going to get results? No, right? You don't expect them to. But if they came up to you and said, "Oh man, I've been working out for a week. I don't see results. I'm gonna quit, or I'm gonna try something else." What would you say to them? You would say, "No, just keep doing it." It's literally that simple. If you want some change, you need to just stick with it for a long enough period of time. And a lot of people think the hard part about this stuff is to figure out what the right thing to do is. They're like, "Oh, I need to figure out what the optimal thing to do is. I need to find the exact study technique that's going to work for me to achieve my goals." I hear that a lot. And to that I say, you don't know what the best study technique for you is. And it's a pointless endeavor to keep bouncing around between study techniques until you find something that works, because you won't find something that works. You're just going to get 1 week of experience in each different thing, and then you're never going to actually make any progress. So, what you need to do is any of these study techniques can work. Like Pomodoro works, time blocking works, everything works, right? If it's an established technique out there, if people are doing it, it works, right? You need to put in the reps in order to make it work for you. When someone says something works, that means, and if something has worked for someone else, that means they've put in the time that it takes to actually get the results from it. But if you just do it for a week, you can't expect to get the same result as somebody who's been doing it for a year. The difference between amateurs and pros at anything is the number of reps that they do. Amateurs have only done a few reps. They've only, for example, like an amateur lifter has done, maybe they've gone to the gym for a few months or maybe even a year. But the pro bodybuilder has been doing this for years, for decades. And that's what separates what works for people and what doesn't for people. And we often are so quick to say, oh, this doesn't work for me. No, that's not true because you know it works. You're just getting distracted by something new, or you give up because you haven't put in the required amount of reps to actually see success. It's literally that simple. There's that story that's said about the basketball player Kobe Bryant. When I was growing up, he was like the idol. I grew up in the Bay Area, and still like he's an LA Lakers player, and that was our rival team. But still, people idolized this man, and they thought he was the greatest of all time. When Kobe Bryant started playing basketball, he wasn't the best player to start. There were many players who were better than him to start. But the way that he became the best was by putting in more hours than anybody else. What he used to do is he used to go do the workout that all the athletes did. He used to do it 3 times a day. Everyone else only did it 1 time a day. So his rate of improvement was so much faster than everybody else's that eventually over years of doing this, he was able to then leapfrog everyone and become the best. It's and I know you hear these stories all the time and you think, "Oh man, there was just something different about Kobe Bryant." No, he just did the work. And you could be the Kobe Bryant of whatever it is that you want to do. You could be the Kobe Bryant of getting good grades. You just have to put in the time. You just have to put in more reps. It almost doesn't even matter like what you do. When you put in the reps, the results will come. Let's go back to that workout analogy. If a beginner, someone who's never seen the gym before, you wouldn't tell them, "Oh, you got to make sure your form is perfect." You just need to tell them to go to the gym. And once they go and they just get enough reps in, they're going to make progress. Now, it doesn't even matter what they do, but it does matter once you reach a certain tipping point, and that's stage 2. Stage 2 is all about getting better. And you only need to get to this stage once you reasonably cannot do any more. So first step is do more. If you can do more, then do more. If you're trying to get better grades and you can study more, then study more. That's the answer. Now, if you can no longer reasonably study more, let's say you're studying like 4 to 8 hours a day. Let's say you're studying 8 hours a day. I doubt any of you are studying 8 hours a day. But let's say you do that and your brain just cannot handle it anymore. Your brain cannot do any more studying. Then you can move on to stage 2, which is get better. Now, getting better is all about learning. And learning, it's funny because in our education system, we never actually tell you about like what learning really means. And to me, learning is when somebody explains something to you in a way that makes it click. When when someone explains something to you in a way that makes it click, then you make that connection in your mind and you now have that new neuronal connection and you have now understood something. That is all learning really is. Now, when you're already doing as much as you possibly can and then you learn something new, then you fix your form at the gym and then you start looking at the optimal study techniques for you and then you start optimizing your sleep and start optimizing your focus, then those benefits from all of these minor things multiply across all the time that you put in just doing more reps. So many people get lost in this stage. They start trying to get better before they even start doing more. And it's you can make marginal improvements by trying to get better, sure. But if you switch the order, if you get better and then do more, your progress will be so much slower than if you do more first. That'll also help you build the habits and then get better. And the best way to learn is by getting a coach, because you have a one-on-one experience where someone can walk you through exactly what you need to do to get better. And that person has gone through the exact pains and struggles and setbacks that you will go through. And the reason why this is so valuable, and I recommend that you spend the greatest investment you can make is not investing in the stock market. It's investing in yourself. And you can use your money with coaching to buy years of experience from other people in the form of coaching. Does that make sense? For example, I've spent years figuring out how to study, how to get good grades, how to succeed in college. And you can buy that from me. I have the link in the description. It's actually dirt cheap right now. It's cheaper than buying a cup of coffee. You're never going to get this deal ever in your life. But you can buy the years of experience that I have optimizing, doing the more, doing the better. And I have spent so long getting to where I am now. And by being coached by me, you can skip those years that it took for me to get here, and you can start where I'm at. That is the most valuable investment you can make with your time. And only after you have achieved your goals or changed your goals is then when you go to something new. I don't even have much to say for stage 3. Just do more, do better. And then after you've completed this goal, or you've changed your identity, your goal is no longer the same, then you move on to something new. It's that simple. The people who jump from one technique to the next are not the people who succeed. The people who succeed are the ones who do one thing over and over and over again and then get better at it. It's literally that simple. I really hope this video helps. If you enjoyed this video, I recommend checking out my last video, which will pop up right over here, about the 3-step formula for success in college.